I only have 5 minutes to speak tonight, but we have hours of questions. Why aren't you listening? At this point, we are left with only one possible explanation. You do not care about the residents you were elected to protect. Either way, the people of South El Monte are done waiting. We will continue to show up, we will continue to speak out, and we will continue to fight this project, on your agenda or on ours.
To put it bluntly, our neighborhood is being allowed to go to crap. And instead of the city stepping up to clean our streets, enforce security, and protect its taxpayers, the proposed solution is to drop a massive polluting mega warehouse right on top of us.
I don't think that we should be rushing through things like this. I think that when we recognize that a whole neighborhood is going to be disturbed, that should be a problem.
So I'm asking you to think carefully about the future we want for South El Monte. Think about the families who live here, the kids who breathe this air, the seniors who rely on safe, quiet streets, and the natural spaces that make this community feel like home. Please choose a path that puts people over profit and protects the long-term well-being of our city rather than rushing into a project whose benefits are uncertain and whose consequences would be permanent.
And there was a nice rendering of this project last meeting, and I thought it misguided the public because it misguided me because I saw a park right next to it. And I said during my public comment, I wasn't sure at the time that they were donating a park, but after doing my research, they're not. They're actually not even donating land. They're exchanging land for the rights and entitlements to rezone that parcel of land. In addition, they're also asking for protection from being sued. But I would like for the city council to direct staff to look into this development agreement, because we're not getting a park. They're exchanging a piece of property. It doesn't qualify as a charitable donation. And again, if the developers were here, I would challenge them. If they are truly donating the land, then donate it with no strings attached, with no entitlements, with no zoning. Then that would be a true donation. But again, after reading the agreement so many times over and over, it felt like we were getting fleeced on this deal. And I say that because they're giving us a piece of land, but the city has to come up with the money to develop this park. And you'll see later on when we talk about the budget, we're gonna be in the red in the next few years. So how are we gonna even pay for this park?
I ask you, please look out for those people, not just them, but you have New Tempo, Shively, those trucks, those commercial trucks, they are gonna be pumping out tons of pollutants. Now, the other gentleman spoke about Eddie Sierra and Mark Smith. Well, I knew them too. And guess what? They left. They left South El Monte. They're not coming back because people see South El Monte as like a poor city. We wouldn't be having these discussions if it was Alhambra, Monterey Park, Temple City, Beverly Hills, Malibu. Why? Because there's more money over there. And we are the unheard. So these corporations, they feel they can just come and build whatever they want to build because they're not going to live here. So please, don't turn your backs on us.
This project in question can change the trajectory of the city. And the more that I think about the weight of this decision, the more important and the more excited I become. I want to work with the city council, the mayor, the staff, and come up with something that we can be proud of, that we can leave a legacy. So when the city council and the mayor look back at their time in office, they can say, hey, I was part of that. I changed South El Monte for the better. And I would ask you, I already know the answer to this question. A warehouse is not it.
I'm now 82 years old. When my daughter told me about this meeting, I didn't want to come. I'm too old and I'm too tired. I didn't think whatever I had to say would make a difference. I just want to enjoy the time I have left in my home. I even yelled at her and told her I wasn't coming, but she's my daughter. She takes care of me when I need it, just like I took care of her when she was young. And I see how worried she is about this project. I see how tired she is from working so hard, not just for me, but for her children, her grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren. And then I remember my mother and father, who moved our family there before South El Monte was even called South El Monte. They were always involved. They were proud of this city that has been our home for 5 generations. So if there is a project that threatens our way of life, our health, and the future of our family, as tired as I am, as hard as it is for me to move, and even though my asthma and COPD have made it more difficult to breathe, I will come and I will fight.
This is a recipe for a public safety and public health crisis. But what is most disturbing is the overwhelming shock and betrayal felt by our residents. When we walked and we spoke with neighbors, the most common response we heard was, "But those council members came to our house and told us about a new park." They never mentioned a warehouse. It is deeply embarrassing to see elected officials mislead constituents outside their homes. This project has been compromised by a lack of transparency from the start.
This is very important to the city, and I hope you hear all the residents tonight and really take it to heart. I don't understand why we're trying to build a warehouse. What good does it do us when we were promised a park and that's not being delivered? I think we need to block this warehouse.
Hearing from my neighbors and my fellow residents here, I'm hearing a lot of negative things that will come with this development project, but I haven't heard one positive piece of information on the benefit of building a warehouse in the backyard of our community.
Consider the project. Think about the great opportunity we have here. We have an opportunity to do something transformational. Are we going to waste it? Are we going to just put up another pollution project? Disregard for not only the community that's living there, but the future generations that are attending the nearby high school, that are attending the parks. I just ask the councilman to really think about it. This is not a temporary pop-up stand that we're putting up for some weekend event. This is a building that once built will not be torn down. And you're changing the trajectory and the livelihood of everyone who lives here.
I had a comment from one of the council members saying, "I don't like my integrity being questioned." Well, you know what? Anyone with any sense of integrity that you're carrying wouldn't mind. You want to know why? Because you would be able to give an accountability of that integrity that you carry. You would be able to give an accountability of your vote that is being taken place in this office. You would be able to give an account to every decision that you make. And these documents, whoever his hands is on it, ought to be fired right now. Ought to be fired. City of South El Monte, I'm telling you what are we waiting for? Let's recall this council. Let's recall this council and put it to vote and bring some people in here that are going to do better than what is being done in this place. How much more do we have to put up with? All this nonsense, all this wasteful money going on.
Listen to us and listen to the community that's talking to us. Listen to our neighbors here. We have the right as well. If you guys want to get voted out, we will gladly vote you guys out.